Battlefield 6 has just dropped its brand new Battle Royale mode, RedSec. It's completely free to play with 100 players dropping into one massive map. Right now there are two playlists available, duos and quads. Duos is you and your best mate going up against 90 other players, while quads lets 4 of you drop in and fight out against 96 others. The goal's simple, be the last squad standing, standard BR. Now, this isn't the first time Battlefield tried a Battle Royale. The last attempt, Firestorm, didn't exactly take off. It pretty much flopped, if we're being honest, but RedSec almost feels like a completely different beast. I've only been playing it for about a day so far, but my first impression was surprisingly positive, and we'll get deeper into that later in the video. Right, gameplay impressions. So, the gameplay itself, honestly, I'm really enjoying it. It feels good overall, but there are a few mechanics that still feel a bit clunky. The first thing I've noticed was the parachutes. They don't feel very smooth. If you compare them to Warzone, Battlefield's parachutes are quite stiff, awkward to control. It's not a nice feeling. It doesn't flow. Same goes for mounting and jumping over obstacles. I find that frustrating at times. Sometimes you can jump over something, sometimes you can't. I've noticed that in multiplayer. I hope they get to fixing that out. It's not as fluid as it could be. It's not a major issue, and I think it's going to get better over time. After 10 hours of play, I'm already adjusting to it. So I think once players get used to the movement, it'll feel a lot more natural, especially if, like me, you're used to playing Warzone sort of fluid style with the parachute mainly. Now, something that really stood out to me was the gunplay. There's been a lot of discussions about the bloom, weapon spread, but honestly, in this BR, I think it works. In Warzone, if someone spots you in the open with a meta AR, you're gone instantly. You're just dead. But here, bloom helps balance that out. You can actually escape, reposition, because players can't just laser beam you on full auto. It forces more control, tap fire, gunfights, which fits the Battlefield vibe really well. The only other frustrations I had was with the minimap interface, especially using it on a controller. Selecting locations feel clunky. So like you hit the trackpad on a PS5 controller and it brings up the map. It didn't feel very nice using it, but again, I haven't played the game enough. I played like 10 hours yesterday, I haven't played enough, so it might become more fluid, more easy to use once I get my head around it. I imagine on a mouse and keyboard it'll be fine, but yeah, on the controller I didn't like the way the map worked. Overall, I thought the gameplay was solid. You know, this is just an early take, this is just a very early take on everything. I'll be doing a full impressions video later once I've had more time on it, but so far RedSec feels strong. It's rough in a few spots, but the foundation's there, which is good. They're off to a good start, which is what we need. We need another BR, a decent BR. Warzone's getting stale. What actually works and what doesn't in RedSec? Let's start with what works, because there's a lot of good here. First off, sound design is spot on. You can clearly hear enemy movement and direction. Footsteps, gunfire, explosions, all super clear. DICE have absolutely nailed the audio. Then there's the destruction, and this is classic Battlefield, it's insane. You don't get that frustration like in Warzone where someone's camping in a tower and you can't reach them. Here, if you've got an RPG or an engineer, you can just blow the whole thing up. It totally changes how fights play out, and every match feels different because of it. You can literally reshape parts of the map mid-game, it's chaotic, cinematic, and it's just pure Battlefield. Another thing I really like is the mission system. It's similar to Warzone's contracts. You'll get missions mid-match and you can choose which ones to do. On controller you tap the touchpad, open the map and hit X and you're good to go. You get weapon crates, supply drops, all sort of bonuses. It keeps matches fresh and gives you more to do beyond looting, so it doesn't get boring. And then there's the kill streaks, they're incredible. You can call in airstrikes, mortars and more. The visuals when they hit are next level. Yesterday I dropped an airstrike while solo in a quads match. My whole team had quit and I got a full squad wipe from miles away. The explosions look unbelievable. It's that cinematic chaos that Battlefield just does better than anyone. Now, one thing that's been dividing players is the ability to earn a tank late in the game. You get it through completing contracts or a contract, and yeah, it gives you an advantage, but I actually think it's a good addition. It adds strategy. You've got to think about team composition. Always have an engineer ready. Tanks can be taken out if you play smart. It gives the average player a fighting chance too. A lot of complaints I've seen are from high skill players who aren't used to the dynamic, but honestly it's a feature that adds tension and variety. I hope DICE keeps it in. Another feature I love is the class proficiency system. Each class is stronger with certain weapon types. Engineers are great with SMGs, scouts, marksman rifles and so on. but you can find a perk style pickups that make you better with with that particular weapon. So if you're an engineer and you find an AR, grab an AR proficiency item and then suddenly you're competitive with it. It's clear the system adds flexibility and keeps loadouts interesting. Now, for what doesn't work as well, the limited playlists, that's what really got to me. At the moment, it's only duos and quads. You know, I get why, to keep matchmaking fast, but the lack of a solo mode is disappointing. That's my favourite way to play. Especially when streaming, playing solo in duos or quads can be brutal. We're always outnumbered. Hopefully they add solos soon, because it's definitely missing. You want that solos mode. And then there's the early quitting issue. Like most BRs, people die early and leave immediately. Even though you can get redeployed, it's frustrating, especially when you're trying to carry or revive teammates. I think once players learn the system, that'll settle down, but maybe a light penalty could help, because it was driving me mad yesterday. Overall though, I'm really impressed. Like, the sounds, the destruction, the missions, the kill streaks, all of that makes RedSec feel uniquely Battlefield, sure, but it's got some rough edges. But the core experience is brilliant. If DICE keeps supporting it and adds solos, this could turn into something special, and I'm sure they're going to support it. They've put a lot of money into this game, they're promoting it heavily. This ain't going anywhere for a while. I can't see it bombing and flopping, I really can't. It's too good. It's too enjoyable, and I was having so much fun. I was just playing on my own, and I couldn't put the game down.
I don't like the look of this.
So my final thoughts on RedSec, honestly, it's really good and it's free to play, so you can't go wrong. If you're curious, just download it and give it a shot. I've been playing on PS5 Pro and it runs great. I'm sure it's the same on the base PS5, PC and Xbox too. Obviously PC, depending on what hardware you got, it's still going to run good. As long as you've got a fairly modern graphics card, it's going to run sweet. It's accessible, you know, there's no excuse not to try it. Really, just give it a shot. Leveling guns in the VR can be slow if you're enjoying it, so if you do enjoy the game mode, I recommend picking up Battlefield 6 so you can jump in a multiplayer, rank up your weapons faster. It's a lot less stressful than trying to do it in the VR, because chances are you're not going to pick up the gun you want to level up, and, you know, it just makes sense. If you're enjoying it, get Battlefield 6. Now, the overall feel definitely gives me Warzone vibe, especially the helicopter intro and the drop sequence, but honestly, there's not many ways they could do it. Once you land though, it's pure Battlefield. The construction, the teamwork, the scale, it's got its own distinct identity. I've always been a Battlefield guy over Call of Duty, but don't get me wrong, I love Call of Duty, especially Modern Warfare titles. COD 4 blew me away back in school. Black Ops was great, but Modern Warfare has always been my favourite. The newer CODs haven't quite hit it for me, whereas Battlefield 1 was the last one I truly loved. So seeing Battlefield 6 come out strong, and now it's added a Battle Royale like this, that's exciting. It feels like Battlefield is finally back. You know, they're really going to town on it, and it's good. It's good to see. You know, there is minor issues. Parachute feels a bit clunky, the map interface needs improvement, but those are small things. The core gameplay loop is exciting, it's fun, and that's what matters. I was having fun, and this is my honest view of it. I've played a lot of games, I've been gaming my whole life, and that I've been through pretty much all the games consoles. I've been around, and I've played lots of games, and I'm enjoying it. And it's a really strong start, and I'm excited to see how DICE builds on it. But, you know, between Battlefield 6, RedSec, Arc Raiders as well, you know, at the moment it's a really exciting time to be gaming and creating content and stuff. So, yeah, I'm just excited, and I recommend, if you like this sort of genre of game, you've got to give it a go. I know there's going to be people that always have strong opinions on stuff, you know, especially if you're a really hardcore Call of Duty fan. You know, they're not going to like it as such, because they're Call of Duty, Battlefield, you know, they've always had that rivalry. But yeah, it's good. Got to test it out. So that's my take on RedSec Battlefield 6 new Battle Royale mode. If you've tried it, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll definitely be doing a part 2 in a few weeks once I've got more time in the game and we'll see how it develops. 10 hours isn't enough to judge everything, so it's quite brief. I didn't really give you much information, but I just thought I'd put something out there. So yeah, it isn't enough information or enough to take in to see the full game's potential. But let's be honest, I wouldn't have played 10 hours yesterday if I wasn't enjoying it. It's addictive and the gameplay is fun. I actually started streaming it, you know, planning to play a load of the multiplayer maps as well, but after a few rounds of playing multiplayer, I just want to jump straight back on RedSec, because it was like the multiplayer just wasn't engaging enough. But it doesn't, you know, multiplayer never has the same enjoyment as your VR. It doesn't, because there's no risk, there's no tension. You know, that's what makes the VR special. It gets the heart going. Nothing beats it. It's the buzz, it's the excitement of it, the risk. You know, if you like the video, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I'm just trying to really work heavily on the channel at the moment. With obviously Battlefield 6 and Ark Raiders. So yeah, it's a good time to be making content. Also keep an eye out on Friday. I'm going to have an Ark Raiders marathon stream. So looking forward to that game. But yeah, just keep an eye out, follow, like, do whatever. But yeah, take care. Take it easy.
Got a dangerous spot here.
Ah, those dude destroying the lobby.